Hello everyone. My name is Ankit Jain, and today we'll be discussing regarding the income tax on shares. We will not be covering these topics, the F&O transactions and future and options, mutual funds, cryptocurrencies, and land and building sales. So we will not be covering, else the video would be very long. We may make a separate video for these topics. So coming to the part of the shares are generally divided into long-term shares and the short-term shares. Because the taxation part is on the basis of period of holding. So suppose if you held a share for more than 1 year and then you sell those shares, that will be termed as long-term shares. And the tax on that will be called as long-term capital gain tax. And the short-term share, if you sell those shares below 1 year of the holding, then that will be termed as short-term shares, and the tax on such will be called as short-term capital gain tax. So the long-term capital gain tax is at 10%. It will be 10% if over and above rupees 1 lakh profit. So let's say in 2019 you bought a share for rupees 50,000 and you sold those shares in 2023 for rupees 1 lakh 20,000. So will there be any taxes? The answer is no. The reason being, as these shares are held for more than 1 year, so that will be termed as long-term capital gain tax. And the second part is the profit is less than 1 lakh rupees, and therefore the sale of those shares and the profit of rupees 70,000 will not be taxed. And the same example, if suppose such shares were sold instead of 1 lakh, if those shares sold for rupees 2 lakhs, then in this cases, these shares are long-term shares. Yes, the profit is above rupees 1 lakh. Yes, the profit is 1 lakh 50,000. So the tax will be over and above 1 lakh. That is 1 lakh 50 minus 1 lakh, the 50,000. On that 50,000, the 10% tax has to be paid, which is rupees 5,000. So this was the concept of capital gain tax on long-term shares. And coming to the short-term part, so there is no limit of this, as there was in long-term capital gain tax of rupees 1 lakh. Here there is no such limit. The short-term capital tax will be 15% on a one on any profit. So there is no limit on this. So suppose you bought a share in January 2023 for rupees 50,000 and sold the same shares in March 23 for rupees 60,000. So in such cases, this is the period of holding is below 1 year, and the profit, so such shares are called as short-term shares, and the tax will be 15% on the profit part. So the profit is 10,000 and 15% on the such will be rupees 1,500. So thank you. This was a small concept which I wanted to cover. The other topics I will be covering in the next video.